Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
It is the last week, the very last week of 2025. This is the last Monday of 2025. Did the year go by fast? Was it a fast year for you? Anson is in for
Flew by.
The man whose name this show bears, Braylon Edwards.
Shout
Kool-Aid's
out.
with us. Shout out. Cam is with us. Hope you guys all had a great Christmas. Anybody wearing something that they got for Christmas today? Cam, nothing.
I
Kool-Aid.
did last week.
I don't want to hear if it's underwear.
No,
Okay. All right.
no. You know what I did last before right after Christmas. It was a cool Pistons hoodie that Mom's got me, and it was dope. It was dope.
I am surprised there's a Pistons piece of garb out there that you don't know.
It was very unique.
I saw it and I was like, "Yo, this is actually fire."
Was it fire?
Fire.
Okay.
Absolutely.
When your wife wrapped it, did she just write fire on it? Is that all it is underneath the tree?
You know what, man? I didn't even know. I had no idea. Like, usually I kind of have some idea, but this one, they got me completely by surprise, and it got me this year.
Anson's had that T-shirt since 1985.
No, this is actually, shout out Mikey in Hamtramck. This is Detroit Threads. Probably the premier vintage clothing shop in the state of Michigan. It's been there for 40 years. They have
That's a heavy title now.
live vinyl DJs in there. Honestly,
Oh,
if
nice.
you are a vintage clothing shopper, you know Detroit Threads in Hamtramck. Once again, shout out Mike. I love this shirt.
How long have you had it?
I've only had this one for about 4 years, I think.
Not bad.
No,
Okay.
but
it
I
still fits.
I still fit in my original '88 Bad Boy shirt.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
Well, I mean, man, I'm aging all right. I just never grew a lot.
Gotcha. Right. How did you do on giving out gifts this year? How did you do? Did you get an A, a B, a C? Kool-Aid? How'd you do with Mama Bear at home?
Oh, definitely made sure to give her some spoiling, but temper it just a little bit too, because
Yeah, but what was the
got
grade?
her birthday on the way too.
Oh, she can double dip.
She can double dip.
Oh,
Yep.
That's big. That's really big. Cam, how did the people in your life receive your gifts?
I feel like they were all very happy. I lean more practical, so it's something
Is that a nice way of saying I lean more cheap?
No, but I don't want to get something that just hangs out in the closet for
Sure.
Amen.
10 years.
Good for you.
Or gets re-gifted.
Exactly.
No,
Cam is the
Who
realest.
cares
right?
how much you're spending as long as the person's going to use it,
Cam is the realest.
right?
No gift cards from this guy.
No.
Well, yes. Thank you for that.
No.
Well done. I am not very good at that aspect in my life. I'm just not. My wife does most of the shopping. When my kids were little, I would buy them. If it's a hockey stick, a baseball bat, a lacrosse stick, a helmet,
Shep's on it.
I'm on it. Going to the mall and I don't work, so getting pajama bottoms just doesn't do it for me. I'm not going
You're
into
not
a
the
store.
slippers guy?
I'm not the slippers guy.
You're the
no.
rapper though. Like she buys and you sit there and rap.
I don't
and
rap.
roll,
I
right?
like rock and roll, but I know what you're saying. No, she raps everything. She raps.
She have like a
everything.
whole rapping station.
I'll
just
tell you how bad
entrenched.
this is self-divulging here. Here's how bad I am. I got her a gift. My son and I went in on concert tickets for her and my daughter. Okay, they want to go see Morgan Wallen in Ann Arbor. Okay. All right, those were a pretty penny. So the boys and I tag teamed on those 2 tickets. And I thought, okay, I'll get my wife something else. So I go to the jewelry store.
You better.
And I get something. Well, those tickets were expensive.
Well, sure, but you better get something just for her.
Yes. And I got it. I went in there to get something else fixed, and I made a whim to buy something. And they said, "Do you want it wrapped?" I said, "Oh, you're damn right I want it wrapped."
Yeah.
So literally, it was in, buy it, out, and that's about it.
And it was well received?
It was very well received.
Good.
Yeah. So my son, my oldest son, is really, really good at remembering what somebody may say. I watched the Army-Navy game this year, and I was on the phone with him while I was watching it, and I said, "Those Army uniforms are badass." I don't know if people remember them, but they were fantastic. So I love the Army uniforms, I love the sweatshirts, and I loved the hats. What do I get? I get this sweatshirt right here.
I already knew that sweatshirt was new
Yeah.
from where we started this show
right here.
off.
It's right here, the Army.
It's cool, man.
It's kick-ass, isn't it?
It is.
It's really sharp.
He came in with the matching black coat. He was looking gangster coming in.
Call it what it is, Shep.
I had to do a little
It's
double take
fire.
on Shep today. It is.
It's fine.
I try to keep up with the folks in this building. Now, it's more the ladies and Braylon than anybody else, but I give it a shot.
Yeah,
I'll give it a
Braylon,
shot.
Braylon on the daily though.
Yeah,
Did you
yeah.
see that coat he came in here with last week, man?
Oh, he's been flexing.
Oh, was
man.
he here last week? I
He's
don't
been
remember.
flexing.
I think it was just the one day.
Was he here last week, Kool-Aid?
Yeah, it was Monday,
I don't
right?
remember Braylon being here. It is his show. I think he was out last week and this week, isn't he? I
see
remember
what
that.
he's
Does
doing.
anybody remember that?
I see what you're doing.
Anybody
there.
remember that? Okay.
Hold on. Hey, look at that back wall. Shout out to
No,
our
he'll
guy.
be here on Friday, folks. So we're looking forward to having him back. In the meantime, we're fortunate to have Anson here. So really excited. Last night, some good and bad. Had nothing to do with football, although the football game was pretty exciting. If you like offense, and I
if
don't,
you're not playing against McCaffrey in your fantasy league,
which you and I both were, holy crap, he doesn't get nearly enough pub for MVP.
I mean, let's talk about that guy. That
he
guy
doesn't.
But
Come on.
How does he not be considered in the top 3 running back of all time conversation when he retires?
Well, hold on a second. Hold on.
He keeps it up, man. He's right there. He's right there.
No. Come on. Now you took it one level too far.
McCaffrey, LaDainian. I'm telling you.
LaDainian's not in the top 3 all time. What are you
Oh,
talking
man,
about?
LaDainian's
The top
pretty
3
close.
all time universally.
Barry.
Jim Brown, in no particular order. Jim Brown, Barry Sanders. Some idiots here in Detroit think Jahmyr Gibbs.
Don't say
but
Emmett Smith.
I wasn't going to. I was going to
Okay.
say Walter Payton.
I should hope not.
I was going to say Walter Payton. Maybe Eric Dickerson.
I got to say.
I'm sorry.
man,
I love Christian McCaffrey. I think he's
how
awesome.
can you
He's
not
top
have
3 all
LaDainian
time.
in the conversation?
Easy. He's not in the conversation. The
Why,
other guy,
out of longevity or out of
the other guys are just better.
Oh, man.
It's okay. It,
Kool-Aid, you gonna let him do a LT like that?
You know, I was a big LT fan, actually.
That guy could do everything.
Until when?
What about Marshall Faulk?
Until when?
Just kind of faded. I don't even know
until
when.
Braylon told us the story when he played with him.
You know what?
And he didn't want to go back in.
Oh,
Okay.
I missed that.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
There it-
right.
Come on.
All right,
Come
how
on.
about Marshall
That's
Faulk?
right.
Come
You know,
on.
that does matter.
Work on the memory.
That
work
matters.
on the memory. It does matter. Look, I'm not bringing up Chuck Muncie here. I'm saying there are certain guys who are debatable. You know, if you wanted to talk about Marshall Faulk, I'm sure he's in the conversation for some. Not necessarily me, but that's okay. But I like Christian McCaffrey. To say top 3 all time is a little
Top
bit of a
5. How about
reach.
that? Top 5?
I
He's
would-
arguably top 5 when he retires.
Oh, well, okay. We can have that debate when he does retire. I don't know what it's going to look like when he retires, so I don't know how you can say that right now.
Well,
So I'm
Randall
not willing
Smalls
to go.
spent
I'm-
$2 on the debate, and he says Earl Campbell. Shout out Randall.
Randall, thank you. God love you, man. Way to go.
Happy
Where's
holidays,
Maz?
Randall.
Maz would be real happy about
Yes,
that one.
because Earl Campbell was it for me. I just loved him. Absolutely loved him. Just that, you talk about throwbacks. He's an absolute badass as a running back. But Christian McCaffrey is really fun to watch. He does everything you could want. Great hands, great vision, great moves, speed. He really is. I liked Roger Craig a lot. He's Roger Craig, Marshall Faulk, and those are the only other 2 running backs to ever have 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing in the same season. And McCaffrey just might do it twice and become the first player ever.
Do you think McCaffrey's the best lead back, or in terms of lead backs, has the best route running ability that you've ever seen?
I can't speak to that. I haven't watched him. I haven't broken down film. I haven't talked to enough quarterbacks or coaches in my career to actually think that he has that over anybody else, whether it be, as you mentioned, Marshall Faulk or a Tiki Barber or somebody of that ilk who could catch passes out of the backfield. So I don't know, but I would find it hard to believe that there would be somebody who is better than him.
Randall Smalls for free, says O.J. Anderson. That one was not worth $2.
OJ, no thank you. Who's kind of underrated from that standpoint is Thurman Thomas. I think Thurman Thomas was a very good receiving running back.
OSU's second finest.
I think what we oftentimes
maybe third. Cade and Barry, both OSU boys. We never really made that parallel.
At some point, we would get Cade Cunningham into the conversation of a football conversation, which didn't surprise anybody. Marcus Allen.
I smiled in approval.
Okay. Marcus Allen wouldn't be a bad choice either. And as it depends on the type of back you're looking for, right? Are you looking for the true running back throwback like Earl Campbell that we talked about, an Adrian Peterson ilk kind of player, or are you looking for somebody who is, a little bit more out of the backfield and can catch passes and so on and so forth? So, but the point is that McCaffrey really good again last night, and love watching him play. The good and bad I was referring to is the Red Wings, and their victory was thrilling. This is a team, I don't know when this is going to happen. They've played 40 games. There are 82 games in an NHL season, as folks know. So they're one game away from reaching the midway point. They have the most points in the Eastern Conference. It's a lot of teams within 7 points or so. Okay, there's another 8 teams that are sneaking around there. It doesn't take much for you to lose it. And it's very similar to what the Red Wings have done over the past couple of years, where they've been in a decent position to make a playoff spot. But at what point do you buy in to a team in the NBA or the NHL? Them beating Dallas and them winning the way they did against Toronto last night, coming back not just once but twice, and Edmondson winning it in overtime, and Talbot with 25 saves, and getting Mo Sider, who's had an unbelievable year. He should be in the discussion for the Norris, right? This team's a lot of fun to watch right now. And then, of course, the bad was the Pistons making 7 of 29 from deep and shooting 41% and losing back-to-back games to two teams they have no business losing to.
Not at all.
So,
looking ahead to the Lakers a little bit, I think. I called that, too. Those were the two games I thought they were going to lose.
What did I tell you last week? Coaches who I've dealt with in the past and have to go on that West Coast trip, the games they fear are at the end of the trip, and especially when they finish in Los Angeles because of distractions.
You don't say.
Last night,
I like the way he said that.
You like that, huh?
What was it? They lost by 13, okay?
Didn't break 100.
Yeah. Lost to Utah on a little strange down the stretch, but losing by 13 and now taking on a Lakers team that is in massive turmoil may not be a big deal.
Those 18 free throws in the third quarter didn't hurt for the Jazz. You asked the question, when do you buy into these teams?
Yeah.
As soon as the Lions are eliminated from the playoffs. So we can all officially buy in now. I did not watch the Clippers game. I have had a 20-plus year boycott on watching the Pistons in L.A. for the Clippers because they are the biggest joke franchise in all sports for my lifetime. The one guarantee that I have, Kool-Aid,
Talk to me.
they will never be in the finals against the Pistons because they're the Clippers. So I don't have to worry about the boycott. I did not watch last night because if they lose, we lost the Clippers. If we win, we beat the Clippers.
Right.
And I am really glad that
But if you lose, come on. I mean, it is surprising. They got 10 wins on the year, man. I mean, it's a
know,
little surprising.
he called it-
And Kawhi
he called it
Leonard
Friday.
to score 55, have a career best 55. I mean, that's a little surprising.
Around right after that first McCaffrey touchdown, I turned all sports off. I went World War II in color documentary all night, then Landman, and then something else, another good show that the Mayor of Kingstown. And I can't control myself. I got so much anxiety for the same reason you have. We need a big game out of Stafford and Puka tonight. I don't want to talk about that Pistons game, man. I just want to talk about the
So you only want to talk about wins.
I want to talk about the Lakers.
That's the problem.
Realistically, you and I talked about it before the show. Where the hell do we go today? We're looking at 3 straight losses for the Packers. You see the Bears lose. If the Lions handle business, like I had said a couple weeks ago, we'd all be still
That's
in.
not even the
We'd
loss
have an
that bothered me.
opportunity.
The loss that bothered me was the Pittsburgh loss to Cleveland.
Oh, sure. But I mean, like, what do we talk about right
That
now
one irks
in
me,
Detroit?
bro.
Yeah.
Who wants?
that one.
Nobody wants to talk football, right?
I do.
The big
I love
question-
talking football.
But the big question is
Kidding me?
when do we buy into these two teams that, one, yeah, sure, they have 3 more games played, but they're tied for the lead in the West, or the East, excuse me, and then over in the Eastern Conference, the Pistons as well. Number 1. And it's crazy.
But I think
to me.
people bought into the Pistons primarily because they won 13 in a row, right? And
And they made the playoffs
Are they
last
still
year.
and they made
bought
the
in?
playoffs
Are
last
they
year.
bought in yet?
And absolutely. People are all in on the Pistons. I don't think many people have bought into the Red Wings yet, even though they've given us a bigger sample size. And I want to know why.
Because they didn't make the playoffs last year.
So we're basing it off a year ago.
I think we're basing it off many
Even
years,
though it's a different team.
Many years of the Iser plan. We're in the year 2 of Trajan. And so it happened overnight with Trajan. He brought us a winner immediately.
Yeah.
That's what we thought.
He did.
That's what we thought Yzerman was going to do. So every year that you fail to bring it, like Yzerman did, and I don't think he's been a failure, especially right now. He doesn't look like one. But I think that a lot of the fans in this town right now are still reeling from the Lions and still unwilling to fully embrace this Red Wings team until they see it a little bit longer. Period.
So that begs this question, and I don't expect you to know the answer, but if that's the feeling you get from people, how much longer? That's
It
I mean,
might be-
we're
might be
talking about
April.
half a season here, and we're not. Last year, we weren't even in a half a season with the Tigers, and people bought in.
Late March
Pete-
last year, you could buy an OKC ticket to the Pistons game for nothing. There was nobody in that building in early April.
Yeah, I'm not referring to last year though.
No,
I'm
but
referring to
that's-
this year.
But it took even last year. The fans didn't buy in until they were in the playoffs. It might be the same thing for this team. You might not see people buy in until the end of April when it's like, wow, we're actually going
And
to
that's,
playoff games.
that's
again.
what a lot of people were saying as well. There were a lot of people who were saying that for the Pistons, they wanted to see them get into the playoffs,
Not fall on their face,
not
you know?
even just to play in.
Yeah.
And when they did that, I think it helped to put a Band-Aid over a lot of wounds because it gave them hope too. This playoff series, a lot of people said, was different than when they made it with Blake Griffin or the time when Stanley Johnson was in LeBron James' head because there was no real discernible hope after that. But with this one, you saw them win a couple playoff games. You wish you could have saw them do that on their home floor. And I do believe it gave people a lot more hope with a clear-cut star in Cade. Now, this year, I do believe that what we saw out of the Pistons last year, I feel like that might be the phase that the Red Wings are entering now. And you're seeing even some guys that are, in my opinion, solidifying that or taking that step towards a little bit of stardom.
Yeah, it's interesting because the Red Wings have some young, homegrown prospects.
Yeah.
Similar to that of the Tigers and the Lions and the Pistons. And people are anxious and wondering, where are they? Why aren't they better? So on and so forth. And yet they lead what I would consider the hardest division in hockey. And I would say the more physical conference of the Eastern Conference Finals, or the Eastern Conference rather, than the Western Conference. I don't think they're better than Colorado. They beat Dallas earlier this year that shocked the hell out of me. But I also get a lot of people saying, well, they're a minus in scoring differential. Believe it or not. I mean, they lead the division and lead the conference, and they're a -4, I think it's 4, in goals against average or goal differential in the NHL. My immediate response is, well, I mean, the Lions lead their division in point differential. How has that worked out for them? It hasn't worked out for them at all. Last year, they led the entire National Football League in that category with a +222. That didn't get them very far, did it? So I don't want to see red on that side of the ledger. I'd rather see the black side or the green side or whatever you want to call it as the positive. But how am I going to argue with tied for the most wins in the entire conference, most home wins in the entire conference, and doing what they're doing with some of their core group? And a guy like, well, Casper hasn't scored in like 27 games. So I think of what the Pistons did a year ago and filtering in some of the veterans, the Hardaway, the Beasley, the Tobias Harris, and how it's really helped the young guys, right? And I think those young guys learned a lot and have used it this year. I think the same thing with this Red Wings team. When you bring in a James Van Riemsdyk and you bring in, well, keep a Patrick Kane, but you bring in a couple of other guys like a Mason Appleton who has solidified some of the younger players and helped them grow a little bit.
Shout out LaBartney with the super chat here. He's still in that running back conversation. Look up Ricky Williams' stats. Look at his runs and ignore his off-field stuff if you're going to talk about underrated.
Okay.
Crazy clown. The Pistons don't have only 6 losses now. I don't remember the moldy bread, so rebuild. I mean, I think that they're the team right now that everybody's focused on. I think that the Red Wings could win their conference. Pistons could finish second. And I think more people will be excited about the Pistons because we got so much out of that Knicks series last year. Obviously, it didn't end the way that we wanted, but I think there's 3 games that ended extremely questionably when you look at the fact that 2 of our starters were out, or at least 2 of our 6 men were out between Beef and Ivy out. This team looks so much deeper now, and they're, early on in the season, you saw some success from the Red Wings and a little bit of up and down. Pistons have been the best team in the Eastern Conference all season so far, and it's on the heels of an inspiring first-round exit last year. I think that there's just so much time that's passed with Steve Yzerman here that people aren't ready to accept it yet.
Yeah, I think that's probably a really good explanation. And by the way, I mean, when you talk about Ricky Williams, here's a guy who averaged 64 yards per game, 10,000 yards. Barry Sanders, well over 15,000, average 100 yards per game. Okay, a little different scenario there. So Ricky Williams is not in the same conversation as Barry Sanders.
He cost a lot. He cost a lot more picks.
He sure did, and he wore a wedding dress.
I do want to say, as it relates to the excitement thing.
So did Rodman.
Not when he was with Detroit.
I want to say to the excitement thing. I do believe that Detroit would be on fire for a Red Wings playoff series. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been 9 years.
And I remember what it used to be. It was electric, and it gripped the entire city.
Sure.
All the different demographics. And I remember last year or 2 years ago, we went for DMAC Day. Broder was down there with us, and a bunch of us went down and did content. And JB, KG, and myself, it was brothers up in the nosebleed, but we had to be in there, and it was an amazing comeback. And that arena was electric. It was on fire. And we thought at that time we had an opportunity to make the playoffs, and that was the year where I believe we had the wins, but not the points.
Correct.
And it was so disappointing. It was so hurtful. You could feel
regulation
the
wins was the difference. Yeah.
Yep. And I think when you get in, I think that's going to be, especially if you believe that they have a serious shot in the playoffs. It's not just, okay, they're going to get there and fall off. I think you're going to see some excitement back in this thing.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And to Anson's point, people, look, it's a trust factor. Kyle Whittingham said this at his press conference yesterday down in Florida. And when people asked him about who's he going to bring on to his staff, Pat Fitzgerald has said the same thing. The word trust is a big deal. Braylon and I talked about that. I said, look, if I was coaching a team, I'm bringing in guys. He called it, like the good old boy network. I don't look at it like that way. I look at it like they're bringing in guys they trust, guys they've worked with in the past, guys they have worked for in the past. When you take over a new role, you're going to use the trust factor. Fans are the same way. We do the exact same thing. Why do we think Tampa is so good? Because you trust John Cooper. You trust the way that team has built. You trust certain players on that team. There are people who truly believe in what Rod Brindamore has done. Rod Brindamore's done something that no coach in history has ever done, won a playoff series in their first, 8 years behind the bench, whatever it was. People trust certain coaches, certain players, certain organizations because of what they've done in the past. The Red Wings have not earned that trust yet. I think they are slowly getting there because of how they play the game now compared to how they played it a year ago. Todd McClellan has earned at least this hockey fan's trust. I hope he's earned other people's trust. JB Bickerstaff probably earned a lot of people's trust last year with the Pistons. They may not have known enough about him when he was in Cleveland, but I'm sure many people feel like, this is a guy who obviously has made a difference. You can see the players getting better. You could do the exact same thing with the Red Wings and Todd McClellan.
When was the last time they were in the playoffs?
It's 2000.
9 years?
It's been 9 years.
Yeah, so
it's been 9 years.
There's only been one playoff season at LCA in 8 years, And
You said one? I think two.
Pistons. In
One
17-18, they were there.
No, there's only been one. It was the
one
Pistons
series.
last year
That's it.
against the
Yeah.
Knicks.
So
That's it.
this year, 8+ years we've
Wait, Blake
waited.
wasn't at
No.
LCA?
Correct.
No, it's been 2. I got a buddy that works at the arena.
Yeah, Blake was at LCA.
Yeah.
Their first year, 17-18.
Oh, Pistons.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you meant Red Wings.
No,
Yeah,
but
Red
there's-
Wings, it's been
but
9
it-
years. They've never had a
Yeah.
playoff
But
series
this
at
year,
LCA.
That is correct.
We're
Yeah,
angling
yeah.
towards both teams having home field advantage, ice advantage, court advantage, that first round of the playoffs. Detroit's been waiting a long time.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Now, that doesn't mean I automatically think they're going to win. You know how I feel
Sure,
about being
but
home
we
field,
don't know
it's
how
great.
that building's going to rock.
Yeah.
We've been waiting to see that building.
No, it's
you know,
great.
'cause
Yeah,
you know
LCA is
I'm not a fan.
crazy.
You know I'm not a fan. But if we got 2 teams in the second round
Yeah.
of both of their respective playoffs,
That'd be pretty awesome.
Now we'll get a chance to see how LCA actually stands up to the
same
Palace
time
and to Cobo.
Of Tigers getting going too, you're talking about Detroit's gonna be rocking with all those teams.
Summer in the
all on the same
Summer
block.
in the D, baby.
Let's go, man.
Kobo.
Let's
Come on.
go.
I was
Joe
at,
Lewis.
I was
Joe
at
Lewis,
game
I was going
5.
to say Kobo. I mean, Pistons didn't know
I'm
what the
thinking
playoffs were
Pistons
like in
Cobo,
Kobo.
baby. I never got a chance to see a game.
That don't get by
Did you get to
Shep
go? You
at
got to
all.
go to
That was my
Cobo
very
games?
first game as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and saw George Gervin and the Spurs play the Pistons
I saw the
at Cobo Hall.
I saw the Harlem Globetrotters at Cobo when I
That
was
doesn't count.
very young.
But thank you. The Washington
What do you mean
Generals.
it doesn't
It
count?
doesn't. It's not a basketball game.
Listen, the Washington Generals have won games. One.
You can
One.
count them on one hand, but they have.
I
won
always
games.
felt bad for them, didn't you, Kool-Aid?
No,
You never felt bad for the Washington Generals?
No, why would
No.
you? No.
What do you
no,
mean,
no, no,
man?
no,
These
no,
poor
no,
guys
no,
out here
no,
busting their ass and they lose every
They
night.
should have worked harder.
Every night.
Exactly. They didn't put
A
enough
little more
into it.
time in the gym, baby.
All right, when we come back, we're going to
Poor
talk
Generals.
about a guy who's earned the opportunity at the University of Michigan. Kyle Whittingham
Who?
is their new head football coach. We'll get your thoughts on that in the chat and from Anson and you more when we come back on the Braylon Edwards Show here on Woodward Sports.
Spartans might need Ben Johnson
Hey,
now.
there's no
Ben Johnson.
justice for you of them, but there can be justice for you. You can just call Ben Johnson because he's the fighter. He's got a team of amazing legal professionals, and they got your back. Doesn't matter whether it's a claim with an insurance company, slip and fall, whatever it is. If you need a fighter in your corner, you need Ben Johnson. Head on over to venfights.com.
Art and Jake's is the awesome place to watch Pistons, Red Wings, football, wherever it may be. Monday nights is a good place too because Rib Night is taking place at Art and Jake's Sports Bar and Grill. Folks, really convenient, 6 locations. I've been to the one in Clarkston. Fantastic food, I can promise you that. Wall-to-wall coverage of every sporting event you could possibly want to watch. 80 television sets in each one of these fantastic, clean, professionally run establishments. Plus, they've got 22 draft beers on tap for you. You cannot find a place that has as many variety of good-tasting beers and wonderful food like wings and wraps and their signature Fairway Burgers. It's Art and Jake's. Find them at the nearest location to you by joining the Art and Jake's app and joining the AJ's fan club, where you can make every day a game-winning day.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Every Sunday, there's only one place to get all your kneecapping, hard-hitting Detroit Lions coverage. Start your Sunday with the Lions Weekly Report with Broder and Terry Foster. Then, the Lions pregame show with Neil Rule and Sean Baligian. At kickoff, keep it locked in for all the emotions of the game with a live watch party with the heavyweights. Then, recap the game with the Lions postgame show with Anson. Game days, there's no other place to be than Woodward Sports. Live all game day. Go Lions.
Now, listen, you might not be able to see them on your drive home because of all the snow, but I'm going to promise you you're going to pass at least 4 Planet Fitness on your way home. There's 50 plus in the Metro Detroit area. They've got over 2,700 worldwide, and they got the hookup. For only $24.99, you could get that black card spa, hydro massage, all kinds of innovative amenities, and an amazing gym, judgment-free gym, that is. And you can bring a guest for free any day you like. Get to Planet Fitness because we are all strong on this planet.
Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea and Woodward Sports are the best combination you can possibly get on a Sunday in the NFL. Real vodka, real iced tea, no bubbles, just a clean, crisp sip that's not going to fill you up on game day. That is Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Woodward Sports Network brings you the best pre- and post-game and watch party that you could possibly get. Just a reminder, though, that Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea is our partner in that. They are there for you, knowing full well that you get thirsty while watching the Lions because your mouth gets a little dry from screaming all the time. Only 100 calories in Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser, Woodward Sports, and you. But please, drink responsibly.
And we back.
Anything in the Super Chats before we get rolling?
Somebody wants to talk about Whittingham.
We do have
Michael
a Super
Wary.
Chat. Shout out to Michael Wary, $2 Super Chat. One of our regulars there. He says, I think Michigan made a good decision at head coach.
Yeah, I think there should be, both schools, and I don't say this because Anson's to my right. I would say it if Braylon were there too. I thought Pat Fitzgerald was a perfect choice for Michigan State. I think he's exactly what that school needed. They need to win the way he had to win at Northwestern with guys up front. All right? I think Michigan has the right guy in Kyle Whittingham. I think he showed that yesterday. What I liked most about both coaches' press conferences, and I'm not a big believer in winning the damn press conference. I could care less, quite honestly. But he seems like just a football coach. This is what I'm going to do. I'm a football coach. I got a relationship with my players. Everything else is ancillary. He understands what else he has to do. Every coach does. But the most important thing for him is, as he said yesterday, is roster retention, keeping the guys who are committed to that school, keeping the guys who want to be Michigan Wolverines, and then working his way through it with his coaches around the talent that he currently has. And I love the fact that he's going to win the way he won at Utah. Run the football, stop the run. Now, I don't know if he's ever had a quarterback like Bryce Underwood, but I think he's the right guy, and I think he showed it just in what he said and how he has gone about his business early on. Meeting with Underwood for 45 minutes, talking to players, talking to coaches, telling them what he expects from them and what they can expect from him.
I think it's a great hire for Michigan. I think it's the guy that they needed, not the guy that they deserved.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fantastic move for him. I think that he does deserve this job. It's interesting how Michigan has maintained that they are not in the wrong, and now they're saying they need somebody to clean their program up.
Mm-hmm.
The irony of that. But listen, I hate this hire because I think it's the hire that they needed. Now, at 66, a lot of people want to say, he's only going to be here for a couple of years. I sure hope so. I sure hope you guys are making another move in a couple of years and bringing in a whole new regime. But I think that this guy's got 5 to 7 years here. I think that he really can chase out the problems that you've had if you give him the reins. The problem is Ward Manuel. And if he is still there, now you've got a guy who's coming in to do things the right way underneath the roof of a guy who has no problem doing things the wrong way. And one is going to have to give. I'm not sure which one that is. If Michigan's smart, they'll start completely clean. At this point, though, it does seem like both fits, coaching-wise, are exactly what both these programs needed. And I think that both coaches deserved these opportunities. Again, I don't think that Michigan, they'll always be rewarded after malfeasance. And that's a hard thing for me to stomach. I think it is for most Buckeye and Spartan fans. But the fact is they did a really good job in this hiring in a situation where the process is already way past. And the likelihood of them getting somebody in here that was only going to last a couple of years and probably be a rotating door that would have just created a void for more problems. I think this guy comes in here and the buck stops with him.
So you brought up age. Why does that matter?
Because the people that I'm talking to are all under 30. The fact is my old man's 80. He does 100 miles on his bike a week. He's at the top of his game. I know guys that are 60 that are done.
Yeah.
And the fact is it's you. It's how you took care of your heart, your mind, and your body. And if you can still produce at that age, God bless you. In fact, if you can still produce at that age, you've got more wisdom and experience than most.
He's 66. Mm-hmm. He doesn't look 66, by the way, but he's 66.
Doesn't move like he's 66.
Doesn't move like he's 66.
50s.
I'm sure you saw the viral clip that Joel Klatt sent out, and that when he went and did a game for the network that included Utah, the first thing that Kyle Whittingham said when he walked into the meeting was, "I kicked your ass on the Peloton bike," because he found Joel Klatt's number, and his goal was to beat that number, and he did. It is. It's a really good story. The reason I ask about the age is everybody wanted Curt Cignetti. I shouldn't say everybody. A lot of people use that name to float out there. Curt Cignetti's 64. What's 2 years?
Perception.
Exactly. If your team needed a head coach and Nick Saban was interested, would you have a problem hiring a man who's 73 or 74 years old like him?
No.
I wouldn't. I'm not going to use the Bill Belichick example because he's 73 and it didn't work out for North Carolina, but North Carolina felt it was okay.
Did they get rid of him already?
I don't think so. I think he's still there, and so is his girlfriend.
I can't wait to see him flip that whole conversation on people. It's going to happen.
Jim Mora Jr., coaching the NFL, he's 64.
Wow, I remember Jim Mora. He's not with us anymore?
I don't think so. I mean, Rich Rodriguez is 62.
Wow.
How old?
Bring him back, guys.
Right. How old is too old, and how old is not old enough? That's what I don't understand. I'm not like Kirk Ferentz. I get it. Maybe some people in Iowa, maybe.
If we're voting for 78, 79-year-olds for president, you can handle a 66-year-old coach at your football team.
Yeah, as long as you've got your wits about you.
If they resonate with the players, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Look, Pat Narduzzi, he's 60. I mean, he didn't have a great year. He might be available. I don't know if
he better have these up on his screen, because how does he just know all these ages and names?
I like him. I do. I like him a lot. But he's
Shep
60.
is a wizard, man.
So these guys, I just don't get the whole age thing associated with Kyle Whittingham or quite honestly any other coach. I think you're exactly right. It's about perception. Old guys can't relate to younger people, and nothing could be further from the truth. I completely disagree with that, especially if you're doing what you're supposed to do as a head coach in any sport, which is what? Communicate and relate to your kids. Just because he was watching All in the Family instead of something on MTV doesn't mean he can't relate to the players he's about to coach.
Larry Brown was 63 when he won a championship with the Pistons.
What's wrong with that? Right?
Nothing, man.
Yeah. I mean, Greg Popovich, if healthy, would probably still be coaching. When Scotty Bowman was winning cups, did anybody bring up his age?
I got a question.
Larry Brown went from winning championships with the Pistons to even coaching Kay Cunningham's brother in college.
What does Popovich?
Well, that's because he's a carpetbagger. He's just always looking for the next thing.
What does Popovich have on David Stern? What does he have on him?
Somebody not Spurs.
He's got something on David Stern, man. 3 generational big men. Can't stand that franchise.
You're talking about Wembanyama, Duncan, and Robinson, but nobody questioned the Robinson draft pick.
Well, sure.
Come on.
But you don't.
They also had to
but
wait
then
2
you have-
years, dude. They drafted him and then had to wait 2 years.
Yes,
'cause
they
he was
did.
in the
We talked
Navy.
about this. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't tell people that. They don't know where you went to college. But
Yeah.
no, then you
They
get
do now.
then you get 1 year where David Robinson misses a year, and they're like, let's give him Tim Duncan. And it's not just give him the number 1 pick. Give him the number 1 pick in a year where you have a generational big man coming out of Wake Forest. Then let's double down and give him the greatest international big man prospect of all damn time. I'll never be able to handle
So
it.
you are a conspiracy theorist.
Oh, the frozen envelope? Come on. Pat Ewing?
No. We're talking about San Antonio here.
I'm talking about the whole NBA draft.
Okay,
I
so
believe
if-
it is corrupt.
You do.
100%. Do you
How-
think that they
okay,
were
can
going
I-
to risk sending Wemby to Detroit, a team that had just won, 14 games the year before?
Why
Bro,
would
they didn't even trust sending Paolo to Detroit.
Why would they trust sending Cade Cunningham to Detroit?
They had to.
He came in with a hairline fracture.
They had
in
to
his
give us
leg.
something.
Or Grant Hill in the past. Not that he was one
They
overall.
had to give us something.
That might be the reason
What about-
why it took
what about
so
Isaiah
long.
Thomas?
We fumbled Grant Hill.
What about Isaiah Thomas?
That was before they thought that we could ever do anything. We were peasants in the league. We were like the New York Knicks of the NBA. Now we're mild royalty.
So that would beg this question then. If you
Mild
believe in the
royalty.
conspiracy theory and that it's fixed, that the National Basketball Association
You mean like Cooper
is
Flagg
fixed.
being a freebie for the throw-in trade for LeBron, for Luka?
I'm just asking, why do you love it so much?
Why do I love the NBA? Because I believe it's just the most beautiful game ever created. Absolutely.
But it's run by
money?
con men.
By money? 100%.
No, but every league's run by money. So don't act like
Man,
one is
you know
okay.
what?
Knock it off. Okay?
I don't want to say where, but the poker room that I used to be the Spider in. Hey, Spider, give me a drink. Man, they contended that certain pass in '87 was to pay off debts. Man, I've heard all the crazy stuff around the NBA, and I absolutely
fine.
love
You
it.
can hear all that stuff. I'm just wondering. It's interesting that for a league that you think is run by basically a basketball mob, and that things are fixed.
You mean David Stern
that
and Silver?
You're willing to support it as much as you do.
Shep, I drove down a U.S. highway on my way here to make money to get taxed on so that billionaires can make sure that their corporations sell products.
I don't think you
and
find
here
it.
I am. Yeah, the whole world is conspiracy. The whole world is fixed. The whole world is corrupt. And now all of our sports program or our sports associations reclassified into an entertainment business, no longer a sporting business. So
No,
yes,
it's big business.
Listen,
It's
the
both.
veil
It's
has
both.
been pulled away. The
It's
whole
both.
world
Yeah.
is this. So yes, I'm going to watch basketball because I love playing it. I love the actual game itself. And at the end of the day, Tim Donaghy was framed.
Now you got me wondering.
Look, I
and
love the game.
thinking-
too.
Donaghy was framed.
I think the game was more beautiful back in the day than it is now.
Well, hell yes, it was.
But the athleticism to me is simply off the chain. I can't get over it. So I love that aspect of it. It's one of the many things I love about the Pistons is the more team-oriented type of style of play that
All
they
about
have,
championships.
rather than some of the others. And Cunningham 27-9 last night, Duran 18 and 14 still wasn't enough, but I still love that aspect of it. I just, the conspiracy, I get why you would think that, because there's a part of me that feels the same way. But the amount of people who would have to cover that up to me is just too much.
Cherry Bailbond says they are weighing down the ping pong balls. I agree, Cherry. Listen, all it takes is people with a whole bunch of money. And you pay them right, they'll keep their mouth shut.
But you still have to have a lot of people. Look, loose lips, man. Guys will start drinking something, and then they say something. Something usually gets revealed. The only thing we can't figure out is who killed Jimmy Hoffa. And I would think if
he's under the Silverdome, bro.
If some of the other Silverdome's gone, of all the other stuff that's going on,
the pad's still there.
If all the other stuff, well, right now I believe it's a facility for what would it be? What's out
it's
there
Amazon,
now?
isn't it?
It's an Amazon
Yeah.
facility.
Well, at
yeah.
least it's not a landfill.
Right. Well, something else is what for the Palace? That's not a landfill.
I know it's right behind right in front of that one. Just
so anyway. I found it pretty interesting when people do bring up the age of Kyle Whittingham, and I find it kind of strange that we pick and choose what age of which coach for which team we choose to focus on.
Yeah, a lot of guys, you got to re-sign Anzalone, but then complain about guys over 30.
Yeah.
Strange.
But then we also want the balance of guys who are veterans
and youth,
because we don't want to pay too many guys who are young, right?
No doubt.
So we'll get to plenty of things in the chat from you. So we always appreciate that. So
keep those super chats coming. Smash that like button.
Keep that going. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to do the team in the AFC that I have now come full circle on, and I believe is now probably the biggest threat. And it might not be the team you think. We'll get to that when we come back here on the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports. Right after this, from Smoothie King and Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning. Wait, Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning really help you out today, won't they? For sure.
Do me a favor while I'm talking about Smoothie King. You see that QR code right there? Give it a scan, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to nominate an athlete near you to be the next Smoothie King High School Athlete of the Week. And listen, Smoothie King, they provide real fruit and protein that actually help you feel good before or after a workout. They've got all kinds of flavors. They're all around Metro Detroit. Fuel smarter this winter. Download the Healthy Rewards app and find your go-to blend at smoothieking.com.
Hey, shout out to our friends at Sharon's Heating and Air Conditioning, proudly serving Metro Detroit for over 40 years with reliable service and treating customers like family. Check out their new website. It's new and improved, sharonsheating.com. It is there where you find free instant estimates for equipment replacement. It is there where you find online filter purchasing. And a reminder, even though you're running out of time, the rest of this month, it's the 29th now, you only got a couple more days, DT gas customers get a free furnace tune-up through the end of 2025. Call them today, 734-238-3805, and tell them the Braylon Edwards Show sent you.
Now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Like a frostbite straight from the divine. Cold rush on my skin feels so fine. Muscle freeze, the ache. No side effects, no mistake. Chill sub-zero. Icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend,
lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep.
Do you believe this comeback?
Your favorite sports commentator as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before. No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, you know, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
I think you won. We got everybody.
This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Head to woodwardsports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. Woodwardsports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at woodwardsports.com.
What's up, y'all? I have used this massage chair in the studio a number of times, and no joke, every single time it has cracked my back and has felt amazing. So I am pleading with y'all to check out the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It is the largest massage chair room in the Midwest, with top brands for massage chairs like Infinity and the one we have in studio here, Osaki, located near the corner of Woodward and Long Lake Road. Experience luxury comfort with Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc, creator of top YouTube massage chair review channel. Book a visit at www.massagechairhouse.com or scan the QR code. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation.
Well, we've got a new year starting, as you all know. Amon-Ra St. Brown wants to make sure that it kicks off the right way. He's a difference maker. We know that. He was a difference maker on the field this year for the Lions. He's 5th in the league in yards receiving. He's 5th in the league in first downs. And he is 2nd in the league in receiving touchdowns. We know that. His bigger impact is in the community, though, because of the St. Brown Foundation. It is partnering with Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and Wicked Awesome Wishes. And we're going to host a main event right here in our Birmingham location, January 5th, from 4 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 o'clock at night. We're going to have children in here who are facing life-altering challenges and illnesses. So we invite you to join us at Lady Jane's flagship salon right here in Birmingham for a night of joy and unforgettable memories. Little things like the kids getting their hair dyed blue like Amon-Ra St. Brown has done in the past. We're going to have a special dinner, a lot of fun activities, and even though this is already sold out, we ask you to stay involved and get involved. So here's what we would ask you to do. Visit the stbrownfoundation.org to contribute or wickedawesomewishes.org. Live Monday, January 5th, we'll be broadcasting with all this taking place, and we hope you can be part of it.
Can't wait to see Shep with blue hair, Kool-Aid.
That would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would be dope.
That would be dope.
For sure. There's a bowl game taking place right now called the J-Lab Birmingham Bowl. It's 10-0 Georgia Southern over Appalachian State.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Correct.
Not down the street.
No.
Okay.
I wish it were down the street.
It would be nice.
Would you go to it? I don't know. I was at the Game Above Sports Bowl on Friday. That's the reason I missed the show. So thanks for everybody for working so hard and putting on a great show as always. The people who say these bowl games don't matter don't know what the hell they're talking about. They may not matter to you, but don't tell me they don't matter to teams.
Okay, see, now I'm going to push back on you on that one.
Because let me just explain why. I was on the stage handing out the trophy. All right? I handed the trophy out to Northwestern, who was a 500 football team coming in. And That team could not have been more proud to put on hats and T-shirts and have a trophy in their trophy case. Could not have been more proud to play a 13th game, knowing it's not a national championship, it's not a CFP, but it mattered to them. Those practices leading up mattered to them. Handing out and putting together over 5,000 bags of potatoes for the Detroit area community mattered to them. Some of the things that make me cringe more than anything else in sports is a game doesn't matter, or it was a meaningless home run or something of that ilk. And I'm sure a lot of people feel that way about this J-Lab Birmingham Bowl game, but I'll guarantee you it matters to App State and it matters to Georgia Southern.
And it mattered to James Madison and Tulane.
Yeah.
And there's so many people, Sean Baligian, I'm looking at you, who just think it was a farce to have those teams in there. And the problem with college football, the NCAA, is it is truly the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. And so by having those same handful of teams, the team year in and year out, always there, getting the national pub, getting the little boost to recruitment, now you're taking some teams and you're putting them on the national landscape, you're putting them in front of people, you're making them, like so many people had never even heard of Tulane until the college football playoffs.
Wait, they didn't know J.P. Lossman? What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, people that are common fans, I don't know who J.P. Lossman is.
Former quarterback for the Bills.
What I'm saying is Tulane is not a largely recognized program. And
Agreed.
now, because of this...
Not known for its football.
Yes.
I agree. Yep.
And not really known for its basketball, but for maybe 1 or 2 years. And you look at this now, and people, they're on the radar. They might not be back next year. They might not be back for 10 years.
Yeah.
But what this is going to do for their program is huge, just like these small, meaningless bowl games do for so many others. And if you love bowl games like Sean does, how can you hate James Madison in the college football playoffs?
Yeah, I think it does an awful lot for the conference in general. It's not just Tulane; it's the American Conference. That's really important too. North Texas, the Mean Green, they may not have played in this massive bowl game, but it means something to them. I've had players tell me before, let's just use your favorite player, Riley Green. It's 9-0. He hits a solo homer. Game finishes 9-1. A lot of people are like, yeah, don't give me that meaningless home run. Players would tell me, look, it's that swing, it's that at bat that oftentimes got me going. So the jumping off point, right? Guy might be struggling from the floor like nobody's business. Suddenly he makes a bucket late and it's like, oh, the muscle memory's back.
Yeah.
I don't buy that these games don't mean anything to these players or these coaches. There is different degrees of how much it may mean. Or, like, I don't think Central Michigan, after losing the game above Sports Bowl, was crying after it. I do believe somebody this weekend, Texas Tech, if they lose, they're going to be crying. If Alabama loses, they're going to be crying. If Georgia loses, they're going to be crying, right? So I think there are different degrees, but it really bothers me. I was at the game on Friday at Ford Field, and really nice job by the Lions and Ford Field for putting on what was a grade A event. In fact, the Northwestern head coach came up to me before the game even started, shook my hand, and said, thanks for such a classy event, and our entire team and their families and coaches and our staff absolutely loved it. That made me really proud for the city of Detroit because I know how people feel outside of our area. I know what they're thinking. What do you want to go to Detroit for in a bowl game? Gee, here's your reward. You get to go to Detroit. Well, guess what? That bowl game was put on first rate, and those people enjoyed it, all right? Those kids enjoyed it. They enjoyed listening to Calvin Johnson and Corey Schlesinger. They enjoyed the tour of the Henry Ford Museum. They loved the fact that there were 28,000 people there, may not be 60, but 28,000, and they enjoyed the things that they got a chance to contribute to in the community. So before we start saying, well, it doesn't mean anything, just because it doesn't mean anything to you doesn't mean it doesn't mean anything to them.
Well, and there's such an overwhelming focus on pro athletics at this point that I think most people forget the fact that even in like the big bowl games,
yeah,
not even 10% of those guys are going on to the next level.
Correct. I think what's the rate? 1.6%.
I mean, listen, you put Michigan when they put in 22 guys against that Jalen Polk and Penix team. Now you got a decent maybe 10%.
Roma Dunze.
But yeah, there you go. But other than that, I mean, majority of these things are happening with guys that this is probably their biggest chance to be in a spotlight game or their last chance to play a game, whether it's football, basketball, what have you. I mean, you want to win your employee field day.
Yes.
That's how we are as human beings. And you come away with the win in the tug of war to win the day, you're talking about it for a damn year. People can say it doesn't matter because the money may not be there, but it matters to a hell of a lot of people. Everybody that made that trip, everybody that showed out to serve up the concessions and bring some money into the community and just have an overall great event like you said it was.
Yeah, it's a good point. When you see the people at Gleaners, and I know for some it's not on the radar, all right? I'm not asking you to put it on your radar. I'm just saying, when you see Northwestern there bagging over 5,000 bags of potatoes for families who need it, then suddenly it clicks for you a little bit. We're fortunate, all right? All of us.
Blessed.
In this. We really are. For us, we get a chance to adopt a family every year, friends of ours and us, give them as much as we possibly can off their Christmas list. And to receive the letter back from a mom who's struggling as a single mom with 2 kids to say, it's the greatest Christmas my kids have ever had. Thank you. It restores hope. That's the difference. So I get why a lot of people's like, who cares about a bowl game in Detroit? I'm telling you, man, when you can make a difference in people's lives, especially this time of the year, I think it's pretty awesome. And I hope more people get that opportunity. So all I'm asking you to do is next time you say that game doesn't mean anything, those kids at Central Michigan know they'll never play for a national championship.
No doubt.
All right? But you know what they will get a chance to do? Put a trophy in their showcase. And it helps their recruiting. I know they're not recruiting the same people as Michigan State and Michigan, but they're recruiting. All right? And when you can go to a kid's living room and say, hey, you know what? This is where we played last year. We got 5 extra practices or whatever it is. We got a chance to put a trophy in wherever. Why is it? Now, obviously, Central doesn't get the trophy. Northwestern did. But why is it we look at players, and if they're not given 100%, in a 13-2 blowout loss to the White Sox and Prince Fielder's not hustling down first base, and you're throwing your beer at him and saying, what the hell? How come you're not busting your ass like I expect you to be? And yet we got kids out there who desperately want to keep playing, and we're going to poo-poo that.
And you know what? I say, you know what? Good on the organizations that put this on, and good on the city and everybody that supported this in the businesses. Yeah. Because I get it. It's a little bit different than March Madness and such, but even the Elite Eight and the Sweet 16 when it's here, it's not a lot of Detroit fans, or at least I didn't think would be down there. It was Purdue and Illinois. Awesome environment. And you know what was cool? The fans. They were like, we've been to Detroit before, and it wasn't all that. We were a little hesitant coming in this time. And these are Purdue fans. I got to interview them, actually. And they were like, bro, Detroit is awesome.
They called you bro?
I got it on video.
That is uncool.
I got it on video. But it was cool.
It's the bro age.
It was cool
the bro
to
age,
see them.
Shep.
Yeah, but I'm saying, imagine if the city and if the organization, because I know University of Detroit Mercy and Oakland University were the host organizations. Yes. They did awesome jobs, and I think it reflects very, very good on the city. Now you think about what makes also these bowl games. Sometimes they say the location, but if you know you can come here, you're going to have a good time, you're going to be treated well, the community's going to show up and do it right. I think that does add a little bit more to this stuff.
Yeah, that's what they want. We all brag about our city when we're out of town, right? I hope so. And if anybody says something about our city, what do? We take offense to that, much like we may do about our music or our religion,
visit.
Right?
Come visit.
Yeah, come visit. I had an interview one time with a guy in Seattle who, before he even brought me on, while I'm on hold, was ripping the city of Detroit. And as soon as he brings me on, I went after him. I mean, I went after him hard. And I said, just out of curiosity, when's the last time you were in the city? And he said, the Super Bowl. And he said, I didn't leave my hotel room. And I said, how is that my city's fault? That's your fault. You're the one who chose not to explore the city. I said, and by the way, I've been to your city plenty, and I've left my room and wished I hadn't. Because the last time I was there's needles up and down the street
My guy said
as I'm
stop.
going to a breakfast spot. Okay, so knock it off with the whole. So
Knock
anytime we go someplace, we brag about our city, and rightfully so. Say what you want about Detroit. Here's what we do very well: we put on good events.
Oh yeah.
Think about the events this city has had, and Metro Detroit has had. Because I'll throw in the Ryder Cup, even though it was an absolute ass kicking by the Europeans, it was still well done. We do things right, all right? If you feel like, well, I don't want to go to that bowl game, I don't want to go to the Frozen Four, I don't want to go to the Final Four because I don't have a vested interest in it, guess what? That reflects poorly on the city. And if you want to have bigger events come back, and we all want them,
there you go.
you have to prove to those committees and those selection committees that you're worthy of hosting these events. It ain't happening if only half the stadium is built, or filled, I should say. So I think it's important we remember that stuff. I'm not saying you got to go to a bowl game down there between Central and Northwestern, even though it was a really good environment. I'm just telling you, future reference, if you're going to sit there and downplay it, remember, that affects us long term.
Well, and I think there was maybe the last handful of years we have a lot of events here. And I'm not just talking about the draft and things like that, but I mean, there's a...
Which we crushed that too?
Yeah, oh yeah. There's a plethora of things to find and do in the city. Prior to 2020, it was coming for about a decade, but it wasn't there all the time, everywhere. I mean,
national.
We even have a
knew what to
soccer
do.
team now,
But
you know. But like for the longest time, if something was happening in the city, we showed out because we didn't have a whole lot, and now we're starting to get a whole lot. But people are down there. People have moved to Detroit because of all the stuff. Hey, there's one guy right there.
Look at Cam.
You know,
Look at Cam.
no doubt about
one
it.
of them.
Yeah, looking back, though, I think that the majority of the national pundits, they just have this 1995 Detroit narrative in their head, which we are so far beyond. But realistically, the change from 2018 to where we are right now in this city is drastic as well. People just don't realize.
Yeah, and there are so many. I mean, I know restaurants. You can find good restaurants in a lot of different cities. There's so many good restaurants in downtown Detroit. It's amazing.
Yeah, and
It
compared
really
to
is.
2019, it's like 8-1 because we had great food down there, but now they're everywhere.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're everywhere.
premier dining destinations on
It's like
every damn corner, every
We
block.
always knew the gym that Detroit was, but as they've kind of taken their business district more serious, and there are some outskirts that are really getting cleaned up.
yeah.
It's like now the national media are able to, and the people who are coming here for big events, they're able to say, oh, this is kind of nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that we always knew what the gem was because it was a hellhole for a long period of time. And we can admit that. And if you can't admit that, you haven't opened your eyes.
Oh, no, it needed to be better. But we knew where we could go and find fun and tell people Detroit's
Yeah, but
fun.
we also knew what the city was capable of.
That.
And you needed the right people in place. And fortunately, you've got some of the right people in place, whether it be in government or those who are willing to give in a philanthropic way.
I'm so glad you talked about that.
So Dan Gilbert's a big reason. Dan Gilbert, Roger Penske, they fly under that proverbial radar because all we do is we look at our owners of our sports teams. And because they're all within a 3-block radius, we think those are the only people who contribute. Dan Gilbert owns the Cleveland Cavaliers. Look at what he has done for this city. Okay, Roger Penske, how often do you hear about it? Look at what he's done for the city. I'm not saying they're the only two. I'm just giving you 2 examples of it. And whether you liked him or not, Mayor Duggan did a hell of a job. I mean, an absolute fantastic job. And now it's up to the new regime to carry that torch and continue forward.
And I like the way that Mayor Duggan personally, because I got some friends that were empowered by him. He went and he found people that lived in the city to be over those districts and those wards, and he empowered their ideas.
That's good.
For giving back to those youth. One of them, my friend Antoine Knight, who runs the Caught Up Ministries, and they do a lot at going in and finding at-risk youth in Detroit City and making sure that they get to college and beyond. And
good for them.
This is the type of stuff that they've been doing behind the scenes. That's when they were talking about, well, you know, you guys, buildings don't look a certain way. I saw them kind of building internally with the city, and some of these people now Like my guy got a call, shout him out to Andre Gilbert. These are guys from the city who came up through these programs, and now they're working for the city in some big programs.
Yeah, there's
big
some
spots.
really good nonprofit programs out there that have the greatest intention in mind. Not just PAL, the Detroit Police Athletic League. Active Minds is really good for it. Okay, you've got the Merritt Academy that is about to open up in downtown Detroit by a good friend of mine, David Merritt, who was a captain on the Michigan basketball team. The laborsome movement that he had with his family, getting that up and going with people has been simply amazing. And then we did a partnership with Midnight Golf this year. And Midnight Golf is a fantastic nonprofit group in downtown Detroit, started by Renee Fluker, who was highlighted on the Masters program on CBS.
Midnight Urban Golf? I'm in.
Well, it's not what you think. I mean, you know what? It's
rooftop to rooftop.
No, it's a building that has one level of kids coming in after high school and learning life lessons, and that's part of what they're responsible for. And then below is a bunch of simulators, chipping pads, putting greens, learning discipline and different things that golf brings. It's fantastic.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So all that plus what we're doing with Amon-Ra St. Brown, what we've done before with Athletes Unlimited.
Yeah, Wicked Awesome Wishes.
Yeah, Wicked Awesome Wishes. These are the things that I hope more and more people are looking at and getting involved in, and I think it's a really refreshing way to start 2026. All right, go ahead.
Nice super chats I want to clean up real quick that piggyback on that. Randall Smalls, $5. Never underestimate what you can do to help someone, even in the smallest way.
That's so well said. Okay, what a beautiful. So I read this recently, and I hope I'm stating it properly. People will forget what you say. People will forget what you do, but they will never forget how you make them feel.
100%.
Which I think is really prophetic. I mean, those are things that I'm going to try my very best in 2026. I'm going to try to remind myself that on a pretty regular basis. Go ahead with the super chats.
Michael Weary, I don't care what anyone says about the D. And trust me, I've been to most major cities. Detroit is one of the best places to live, visit, or work in the country. Michael Weary again. Did you guys hear about the Green Wave is losing 11 starters from their bowl-winning team? And then Michael Weary again, crushing it in the super chat. I think Michigan made a good decision as head coach.
Okay, that's good stuff. Regarding the football games over the weekend, as we shift gears here, football games over the weekend really bothered me. The Pittsburgh loss to Cleveland, as we mentioned, really pissed me off. The Chicago loss to San Francisco didn't surprise me. Green Bay losing to Baltimore surprised me. All right,
without Lamar.
Yeah, without Lamar. Of course, Green Bay didn't have Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Or Micah Parsons.
Man.
All right.
Malik Willis kind of looked like a number 10 overall pick, didn't he?
Yeah, he looked pretty good. Yeah, I give him credit. I'm going to, keep it all in check, okay? Because, let's be careful. As Matt LaFleur said, look, there's no controversy here, okay? We've got our franchise quarterback, and Jordan Love's pretty good. I don't think he's great, but I think he's pretty good. The team that I think everybody is sleeping on right now is New England gets a lot of love, and rightfully so. I mean, Drake May, I don't know if Anson and I were talking about this before, and Cam heard it too. Kool-Aid, if I said to you, how many 300-yard games does Drake May have? What would you say?
It's a trap.
Man, I would say 4 or 5.
It's 1.
Wow.
Against Baltimore.
It's a trap.
How many has Tyler Shuck had for New Orleans?
Also a trap.
2 or 3?
He's had 2. How many has Shedeur Sanders
but
had?
In 4 starts, right?
1, I believe.
Shedeur Sanders has had 1.
Yeah.
And yet
3 starts?
And Drake May has been consistent. He's he's over 250 every game, right?
And 16 starts.
Yeah, and 16 starts. But he's had an MVP-like season. So I'm not taking anything away from Drake May. If I asked you, how many winning teams have the Patriots beaten? How many would you say?
They're in the AFC East.
Yep.
I'm going to say 4.
4? Kool-Aid?
I'm going to say 3.
Yeah,
3? Cam?
Yeah, I'm in the same ballpark there. I'm saying 2.
Yeah, the answer is 1.
Wow.
New England's
It's a trap.
Yeah. Right. Now, here's the final part of the trap. How many have the Giants beaten?
4. What, do you have 3 wins on the season?
Yeah, right.
Well, 2.
two.
Yeah, I was gonna say at least two.
It's more than the one.
They've beaten more above 500 teams than New England has. Two.
I think New York's actually much better than their record.
I think the Giants are the answer to depending on who they get as coach. The answer to the question is which team that didn't make the playoffs last year might make it next year. The Giants could be one of those answers.
Well,
they have their franchise quarterback. They have a very good defense. They've done this all season long without their best wide receiver, and they're going to get better. Okay, they are not the Las Vegas Raiders, who seem to be wandering aimlessly, and yet it's the Giants who have been much better. By the way, Jackson Dart, who is their franchise quarterback, and he's been pretty good, won 300-yard game.
Moxie.
One, okay? Yeah, you can like all the moxie. I want results, and he's getting results for the most part. But anyway, the team that I think people are sleeping on are the Houston Texans. I think Houston, and it's not just because Houston has won, what is it, 8 in a row now? It's 8 in a row.
Defense wins championships, Shep.
They started 0-3. That's a badass team.
They are.
That's going to be a really tough team to handle so that's the reason I bring up New England, the one win. Buffalo, where's the defense, although they played pretty good defense yesterday. You're not even considering Pittsburgh or Baltimore. Denver, people don't believe in because it's only their defense. The Chargers, people keep making excuses for because of some of their injuries, and I get it. And then you've got a team like Jacksonville who you're just not sure of. Watch out for Houston,
Zero
right?
belief in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I mean, C.J. Stroud looked fantastic.
Jacksonville's won 7 in a row, by the way.
I know. And
Right.
T-Law all of a sudden looks like a number one pick. But I think C.J. Stroud really showed us something his rookie year, turning that season around and making his little run in the playoffs. I mean, this team they've got great weapons in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
They've got good tight end play. That offensive line is starting to actually hold up the defense we know about. Can Woody Marks be the guy that can continue his little run behind, as a running back there and keep that running game going? I just don't know if I have enough faith in that offensive line to be able to get them all the way. But man, that team is not a team I would want to see in the playoffs at all. Not at all.
Yeah, and I get your whole belief on Jacksonville or the lack thereof because I'm with you on that. All right.
The franchise itself.
But why do we look at a franchise? What does Jacksonville have to do with Blake or Blake?
I'm a lifelong Lions fan.
Why did I lose Blake Bortles?
Yeah.
Why do we care that Blake Bortles or Mark Brunell had anything to do with this year's Jacksonville team? Not coached by the same guy, not even owned by the same owner, are they? I could be wrong there.
I see. To me, there's just certain franchises that I just never ever believe in, and the Jaguars are one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, it's because I've been a Lions fan, and this is another franchise that most people can't believe in. This franchise in the AFC, they were looking at us the last couple of years. It's the Lions. They're not going to go anywhere. Same way we're looking at the Jags.
Okay, because Jacksonville, just so people are aware, Jacksonville has beaten Denver, they've beaten the Chargers, they've beaten the Chiefs, they've beaten the Niners, and they beat the Colts, who were pretty good at the time. They're not good now, but they've beaten the Colts actually twice. They have more signature wins than just about anybody else in the National Football
Great offensive
League.
line, 2 good running backs, 3 great receivers.
Really good defense.
Really good tight end, and a solid defense.
Yeah.
And they don't even have their number one pick that they gave all of their stuff away from.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, that's a good
Travis
point.
Hunter.
They've done this all without Travis Hunter. And I know I'm with you with Trevor Lawrence, but wow. I mean, the dude has actually done really, really well.
10 touchdowns over a 2-week period. Never been done before.
Really?
Yeah. 4, I believe, 2 on the ground and 8 in the air.
Okay. Well, because Brock Purdy's got 10 touchdowns over the last 2 weeks, too.
Well, maybe somebody just tied that.
So Brock Purdy 2 weeks ago threw 5 touchdown passes, and then last night he threw 3 touchdown passes and ran for 2.
Yikes.
So that's back to – he's the first Niners
Mr.
quarterback.
Irrelevant.
Mr. Irrelevant, that's right. And the first Niners quarterback to ever do that. It wasn't John Brody. It wasn't Steve DeBerg. It wasn't Joe Montana. It wasn't Steve Young. It wasn't Elvis Gerback. It was
I feel like
Brock
Steve Young could
Purdy.
have done that.
I feel like that would have been the answer to the trivia question, wouldn't it?
That stumbling run of his.
Oh,
Was
my
that against
God.
the Vikings?
Yes, it was. I
Unbelievable
believe it
play,
was
man.
against the Vikings.
I was watching that game live.
All right, listen, when we come back, we're going to dive into some hoops.
Let's do it.
I get why so many of us feel like a local guy should be mentioned as MVP, but when you hear some of the numbers associated with another player, you might change your mind. Or maybe not, if you're really stubborn. We'll do that after we get from a word from Jack's Car Wash and Les Stanford, who knows that it's the end of the year, knows that you're looking for a post-Christmas present, and you got a chance to get it at lesstanford.com. Check out these deals right now. Les Stanford, $189 a month for that 2026 Silverado. That's plus tax, by the way. $359 a month for the Cadillac 2025 XT6. Good-looking ride, very smooth inside. Sat in a black one with beige interior just a couple of weeks ago. Loved it. And a 2026 Enclave for $299 plus tax. That's at Les Stanford today. Their inventory is massive. Check out their inventory and the deals they got going for you right now at lesstanford.com.
And then take your brand new car or your old car and get it over to Jack's. There's over 40 locations around Metro Detroit and Michigan. Free vacuums, free compressed air, free mat cleaning rooms. They got 8 spots that have like the full detail interior cleaning location or a station. You want to head on over though, because we're going to give you a free car wash. Just text WSN to 888-522-1729 and all the snow in the world won't matter, because your car will be shining thanks to Jack's Car Wash.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hey, every Tuesday on Big D Energy and every Thursday right here on the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, you can catch Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine, where he shares top-tier advice to keep athletes in peak condition. Just ask Bray and D-Mac. They both go to Doc. They trust Doc Pierce. You can learn more at MichiganSportsandSpine.com or just give him a call. You see the number there, 248-426-9944. Make it real easy. Just scan that QR code. Head on over to Dr. Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine.
When you get hungry, pull the trigger. You know what I mean? I mean, just go to buddiespizza.com or give them a call. I mean, there's 22 locations, so you're bound to find one near you. You know, we were bragging earlier on the city of Detroit. You know how great Detroit-style pizza is. I hope you do. And if you're new to the area, check it out. The only place to check out, though, is Buddies. They are the original Detroit-style pizza. They've got it for you right now. Outstanding deals, outstanding food. You cannot go wrong. BuddiesPizza.com.
And we back.
Any super chats that we need to get to before we move forward with our NBA discussion?
You know, we do have some other super chats that have made its way into the system. Shout out to Greg Thomas, #3 crown today, $4.99 super chat. He just wanted to say, I love you guys, even though through hard times, I'm always here. Rock on. And then Randall Smalls, $2 super chat. He says, guess who has this year's Mr. Irrelevant?
Well, if they're picking last, I would guess it would be Philadelphia. Who is it?
I feel like it's the Lions through some sort of a...
It was the Lions. Was it Dan Jackson?
Maybe.
I don't...
Come on, Randall, give us the answer, bro.
Oh, or maybe it was the wide receiver. Levitt?
Yeah.
Levitt.
I think
so
Levitt was
it'd be the Lions then. Our guess is the Lions. Final answer.
Come on, Randall, give us the answer in the chat here,
Final
buddy.
answer. That's what it is.
I wanted to see Dan Jackson.
Kool-Aid will look that up. You know what? Actually, when they made that pick, I was like, you know what? That's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, I liked him.
I liked him at Arkansas, but he got hurt in training camp, so it was way back when. All right, we'll get to the answers to that. All right, we'll definitely get that. Earlier this year, when Cade Cunningham was on one of those patented runs of game after game where he's doing really, really well, many of us were pumping his tires for MVP. I think he's in the discussion, don't you, Anson? He's got to be. He's got to be.
I think he's in the top 5 discussion.
Okay, I would agree with that. Who the other 4 are Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, in all likelihood. I'm just guessing here.
It has to be.
Nikola Jokic.
Yes, sir.
Jalen Brunson.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well,
begrudgingly, yes.
Yeah. Is that because they knocked Detroit out last year, or because you think he's a flopper?
A little bit of both.
Both.
He's still really good, though. I give him.
You know, he scored 34 points Saturday night without going to the free throw line, right?
He's still really, really good.
Yeah, he's a really good player.
He, for whatever reason, he doesn't turn the ball over.
Would you want him on your team?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, absolutely. All right, no, you're honest. I love that about you.
I'm glad he didn't ask me. I'm so glad he didn't ask me.
Who would be the other player? If there's 5, who would be the other? Can you give me somebody else you think would be in the conversation?
There's some guys having some special years around the NBA right now that are kind of popping out.
But I mean, it's what it's really hard to do is break through a narrative. It is. It's tough to break through a narrative in sports in general. All right. So if you're looking at it and you're thinking, "Oh, can Cade Cunningham get in the conversation?" Most people would say yes. In Detroit. Nationally, it might be a little tougher. Luka Doncic is probably the other name, even though I wouldn't agree with that, because I think he's an absolute sieve on the defensive side of the floor.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Austin Reeves is kind of having just as good of a season.
Yeah. I mean, in fairness to Doncic, what's he averaging? 35 points?
He's at 33.7.
Okay. And about 9 assists.
8.3 rebounds, 8.6 assists, correct.
Okay. All right. So rounding up. So, I mean, at least Cade Cunningham's in the conversation, and he should be. Nikola Jokic, his numbers, and I know you're a big fan of his, so I got to give you credit because you've loved him for a long, long time. The numbers he's put together are simply ridiculous.
They're ridiculous.
In the past couple of weeks, he has passed Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Larry Bird in assists.
Wild.
Against Orlando the other night, he had 34 points, 21 rebounds, and 12 assists. Let me reiterate that. 34, 21, and 12. It is the 8th time in his career that he has had 30, 20, and 10 or better. The only player, the only player to have more than that is Wilt Chamberlain. So to put that in perspective, okay, he's done it 8 times since 1977. He's done it 8 times. Since 77, 6 players did it combined.
Just once.
Okay?
Yeah.
That, to me, tells you all you really need to know. It's simply spectacular what he's done. The other thing I would say, when you look at triple-doubles, and this is from the lead, triple-doubles, since 2021, Nikola Jokic has 123. The next closest, Anson, is Domantas Sabonis.
In the high 30s?
55.
55, okay. Not bad.
LeBron James has 23. Jokic has 123.
Just saying, he's averaging 30, 12.5, and 11 right now. Over 2 stocks as well. Turns the ball over 3.6, which, considering the assist, you're literally almost a 4-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, which is absolutely insane. The only other 2 names that I would have in the conversation, Tyrese Maxey's having an unbelievable year, and Philly's in the conversation as playoffs. And I know a lot of people will be voting for Victor. I think you have to look at what Victor has around
Victor
him.
Wembanyama?
Yeah. And to me, it's kind of the same as Brunson, and honestly, the same as Cade. What those guys are doing with the amount of help that they have, it just doesn't compare to what Nikola Jokic is doing there. I mean, yeah, you can say that Murray's having a good year finally, and that the trade worked out to move Porter out. But at the end of the day, this guy literally just does it on his own, wills his team to the second or third round or a championship every single year. I don't think he has anywhere near the help as any of the other names that we talked about.
Think about this for a moment. He's like, obviously he's a big guy, right? So you would think big guys would get fouled more and they would go to the free throw line. He's gone to the free throw line 10 or more times in a game, only 11% of the time in his career. He's played he's played 870 career games. He's gone 11.5% of those games, so 101 of them. He's gone to the line 10 times or more. Okay, you got that? That's a lot of numbers, so I just want you to know. He's played 870 games, 11.5% of the time. He's gone 10 times or more.
10th most attempted free throws in the league this year.
But to put that in perspective,
considering his usage,
yeah,
and the way he's defended, I mean, similarly to Shaq, you look at the game last year with Alex Caruso, which was an absolute, I can't believe they dialed it up and it worked. But, I mean, he's fouled every time he touched the ball.
It seems like it. Now, you know, I think
whether the whistle blows or not.
I think the league can be a little soft in that regard, but okay. But to put it in perspective, Jokic has played 870 games. He's gone to the line 10 or more times, 11.5%. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who I like a lot, by the way, he's played 156 games, so 700 games fewer. He's gone to the line 10 times or more, 29% of his games.
Wow. He's averaging 0.8.
I'm sorry, I said 156. 156 of the 538 career games. My apologies. So he's played in 538 games. He's gone to the line double digits 156 times. That's 29% compared to Jokic's 11.5%. That to me is mind-boggling.
Do you know what's mind-boggling for me for Shai this year? He's shooting 556 from the field. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
I really like him. I mean, I do. I think he's a really good player.
Yeah, he's tremendous.
And here's what I worry about some players who I like. Doesn't mean it's always. Some of the players I like, I worry about the narrative that takes place. It takes hold, and then you can't let it go. So for his
foul merchant,
foul
merchant. The difference between a foul merchant and a flopper is the difference between Jalen Brunson and SGA. You'll see Brunson do stuff where like he'll flop and literally no contact. SGA is waiting for you to reach, and he's
like
LeBron,
teach, by the way,
period.
like LeBron does.
LeBron, some of his flops are ridiculous, but when I look at Cade, he's the ethical hooper. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are he should be at the line more, period. And,
for sure.
And there is an opportunity with the way that the game is called and played now where you can merchant yourself to that line. And you don't have to flop. And you don't have to be not...
Who goes to the line more, Cade Cunningham or Jalen Brunson?
This year?
Yeah. Well, I don't care about last year.
This year, I would imagine it's pretty close to even.
Cade Cunningham goes to the line more.
How much?
7.1 to 6.7.
Okay, so pretty damn close.
Yeah,
for sure.
And I don't think he's a flopper.
Well, no, and I think that Cade should be at the line more.
Don't disagree with you.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't disagree with you, considering how much he handles the ball.
I think
but based on that philosophy that you and I share, I'm not talking about just you, based on that philosophy, knowing how much he handles the basketball, how much he shoots, how much he penetrates, Cade Cunningham does the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't Jalen Brunson? Why don't we understand why he deserves to go to the line then? I'm saying we, as in you and me, and Kool-Aid, and Cam. We think Cade Cunningham should be at the line more. We don't think he gets enough calls, universally, right?
Correct.
Because how much he handles the ball and all that stuff. Jalen Brunson is that equivalent to Cade Cunningham, but we got a problem how much he goes to the line?
I think it's style of play.
He goes. He takes it to the rack.
But he also takes some flops. There's some times where he's not hit at all, and he's selling it and getting the call. You don't see
You'll
Cade
never
doing
see,
that.
Never seen that from Cade.
Ever.
Oh, my God.
I don't see it.
I'll be honest, and I'll be the first to call it out.
They
man.
can make highlight reels of
There's
Brunson
times
doing it
where I'm
and
like,
SGA.
Cade,
I
like,
know.
sell that a little bit. You know?
I know.
I want him to sell it more.
I don't disagree with that, but don't say that he's never done it. Don't say I've never seen that.
I haven't seen it.
Come on.
At the NBA level, I'm being really honest, too. Like,
I think you're being very biased.
I'm not biased towards
I
Cade.
want him to do it. Like, his
no,
free
I'm
throw
biased
rate
towards
was
Asar.
No.
I'm a biased towards. No, I'm not the Cade lover that people are here. I love that we have him, and I love.
Then I love him more than you do, but I can at least admit he's been bumped and he's done this stuff. Every player in the NBA.
See,
I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
I
by
think
the
that
way.
there's a lot of times.
I think you have to do it.
Sure, you're bumped and he, but there's times where he's bumped and he could fall over. But it's more to him to not fall over. Like you'll see, LeBron is just like, dude, you have one of the greatest bodies in NBA history, and you fall over that easily.
Right.
He lives on the court.
And Cade,
he does.
He does. And Cade, on
he's
the other
a
hand,
soccer player on the hardwood.
Cade takes pride in not going down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Pause. But I mean, the fact is the guy could die. I got Shep with that one. Yeah. Cade Cunningham, baby, let's go.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, look, I do believe he's a guy who draws a lot of contact, and he's a guy who fights through the contact more than most.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes.
But to say that he's never done it, trying to sell it, is a little hyperbolic.
No, like
People
okay,
just
so
don't associate it with
overselling
this game.
Overselling it, like a lot of the guys in the NBA do
Yes.
right now. And you know why I know that this is true? Because after almost every game, every accomplished super veteran in the NBA pulls this man aside, they cover their mouths, and they talk for like 5 minutes. Guys in their first few years of the league don't get that love from vets.
Yeah.
I don't know if you watched the game last night, him and Kawhi after the game. There was another game, I think 2 games ago. I forget who it was, but after the game, he's sitting there talking to Cade. Cade is revered on an old school level in the NBA, from Shaq to KD and everybody of any kind of long-term ilk in the NBA over the last 20
I think he
years.
gains more respect from the old guard than just about any new guard player outside of Nikola Jokic.
And like,
Is that a fair statement?
But
have you recognized that?
I've never seen anybody this early in their career get the kind of love from vets the way that Cade does. It's awesome.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I know we are all appreciative of it, and we enjoy watching him on a night-to-night basis.
Oh, yeah.
I don't disagree with any of that. I'm glad he's in the conversation for MVP. It's long overdue that a Piston would be in there. But
Lanier, did Lanier win one?
No, Bob Lanier was never.
We don't have any MVP in Detroit
I don't
history.
think there's
Maybe
a,
Yardley as a
George Yardley
as a Fort Wayne.
I
Fred
don't know.
Zollner Piston.
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't think we've ever had an MVP.
I thought Grant Hill was the closest. I could be wrong there. So we'll have to look that up. We're late for a break. Quick timeout. We want to get your super chats in there. I want to make sure you're smashing that like button. Maybe you get the mailbag ready to rock and roll. Speaking of rocking and rolling, Black Rock. It's a great place to eat.
It is, absolutely. Listen, you need to get that sizzle back in your life. You need to get over to Black Rock. They got that whole new menu, all kinds of returning favorites, as well as new ways to sizzle. Prime sirloins, they're there to stay, of course. Don't forget the holidays. Still time to take advantage of the Black Rock gift card. If you put down $50, they're going to give you an extra $10 back in bonus bucks. Oh, and the best part, you see that right in the middle there. It's on fire. 20% off your total food bill.
It's on fire.
It's on fire. All you got to do is mention that Fire Network, Woodward Sports, and you're going to save 20%. Head on over to BlackRock today.
That's a deal.
You want a deal? I'll give you a deal. Lady Jane's. How many times have you gone into a place and you thought to yourself, this guy or lady's going to cut my hair, and this place is disgusting. It's not clean.
Not here.
Lady Jane's is immaculate. You could come in and you could dine in this place.
True.
They're constantly cleaning. It really is. The ladies are wonderful. They're nice. They're thorough. They're well-trained at what they do best, and it's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It is wicked awesome. Check in anytime.
Like a frostbite straight from the effects, no mistake. Chill Sub-Zero, icy and true. Feel the chill. It's all for you. It's not magic, just science play. Chill Sub-Zero.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shepard Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Michigan, I know you are ready for the biggest pickleball event of the year. You know what? Of all time. It is the Woodward Sports Wicked Pickle Open, January 9th through the 11th, and we're kicking it off with a bang. All right, Friday night at 7:30, the Woodward Sports Celebrity Tournament hits the court. All plus local celebs, and it's all going to be broadcast live. Then the real battle begins. 3 days of nonstop pickleball, men's, women's, mixed, and singles divisions. This is where champions are made. Sign up now at pickleballtournaments.com. Or call Wicked Pickle today at 734-331-3451 or scan that QR code on the screen. And you know what? If you had some betting favorites, I wonder who you would lay your money on. I don't think you're going to get it back with Wicked Pickle, but I know Caesars definitely has your back.
Check it out, Kool-Aid. You can place any bet up to $1,000, and if you lose, you can get that bet back.
That's crazy.
All you gotta do is scan this QR code, enter the code Woodward1000, and if your first bet doesn't hit, you get that deposit back up to $1,000. That's right, up to one whole stack back, just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet just $20. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Again, use code Woodward1000 or scan the QR code on the screen.
We back, and Randall Small says his money is on Shep for the Wicked Pickle Open.
Oh, I would bet with somebody else.
But you got.
I've never played the sport.
You got #1 next to you, though.
Yeah. Well, then if you're going to say my money's on, don't put my name there. Put Braylon's name in there. I would go with Braylon too. I've never seen anybody else play the sport here. I've never played the sport. I've never played tennis either.
No tennis for you? I figured you got some tennis in.
No. So, I mean, I did it while drinking beers one time, but I don't think I appreciate the confidence. I don't think I'm the right guy for that confidence, to be honest with you.
Depends on whether #1 or number 17 shows up with you.
#1 or number 17?
I feel like there's good Bray and bad Bray.
I see.
But I don't know which one he would choose. Probably 17 he dislikes.
Well, he better show up with #1.
Yeah,
that's all I can say.
It's like the red shirt on Sunday.
I am expecting an awful lot out of him, and I expect he's doing the same.
He's in front, eh?
He's going to be carrying us
at the net.
I promise you that.
He's got that reach.
He's got the reach. He's got the the reflexes. He's got the foot speed. He's got all that.
Shep, I will say it is a very fun game.
I'm excited to do it. I did talk to a friend of mine the other day. We were both playing beer pong after our euchre party, and I said to him, "Hey,
right, Kool-Aid."
I said, "Hey, I'm playing." I said, "I'm playing pickleball," and he's like, "Oh my god!" So he's trying to get me over to his club to play a couple of games, and he's this club champion. I said, "Look, I'm not going to be able to."
He wanted to give you some
that
tips so you could win.
Yeah.
Well,
not going to happen.
I'd rather you not link up with him.
By the way, we were both right about Detroit's NBA MVP.
Interesting.
Okay. Let me give you this because I'm sure people were wondering about it, so we don't want to leave you hanging. Bob Lanier finished third in 1974 and fourth in the MVP voting in 1977. Grant Hill finished third in the MVP voting in 1997. Dave Bing finished third in 1971, fourth in 1968. Isaiah Thomas finished fifth in the MVP voting in 1984. Oh, yeah! Yeah, Kramer.
And don't
who
forget
who won it that year?
Don't forget George Yardley. Third in 1958 for the Fred Zollner Pistons.
Not bad. That's a drop. That was not Anson lifting his leg at all. The MVP for Isaiah Thomas that year, Larry Bird was one. Bernard King, who could score like a son of a gun, was two. Magic Johnson was three, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was four.
Two guys on the same team.
Isaiah finished just ahead of Julius Erving and just ahead of Adrian Danley, who would later become his teammate.
Good buddies.
Yeah, real
friends.
Pals, yeah. Grant Hill, in case people were wondering, in 1997, who do you think won the MVP that year?
Does he wear 23?
No.
No? 97? Oh, wait, 97.
He does wear 32, though.
Oh, it's Shaq.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Karl Malone.
Shaquilla.
the
Karl
mailman.
that year.
Yeah. Shaquille O'Neal tied for ninth. It was Karl Malone, Michael Jordan.
That's why I made that face.
Then Grant Hill.
As soon as I heard the 32, it's just like,
How many kids does he have? 17-wheeler? 17?
Karl Malone.
Who, Karl Malone does?
My Beanie Babies.
Are you sure that's Karl Malone?
Karl Malone has a lot. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got, doesn't he?
Look, I
know
don't
Sean
say
Kemp
stuff that I
does.
can't back up. That's you out on that land.
They're always throwing Karl Malone under the bus in all of those veteran streams, and people don't like him. People do not like him.
Just so we're clear, that year, the two guys ahead of Grant Hill, I'm a huge Grant Hill fan. I think he's one of the best Pistons of all time, and I think he was one of the better players had he stayed healthy. I know you can't say that, but look, he's a Hall of Famer for a reason. But he was a hell of a player. He averaged a hell of a lot more minutes than Malone or Jordan. Those guys averaged more points. Karl Malone that year actually averaged 10 rebounds, but Grant Hill averaged 9 rebounds per game and averaged 7 assists per game. He also had more steals per game than all those guys. So he was in that conversation, and for good reason. So in case people were wondering, I just wanted you to know, and some of the stuff that was going on back then, if you wanted to know Dave Bing in 1971 for the Pistons finished behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Jerry West.
Solid. And just in case you were curious as well, Karl Malone has 7 children.
That's a far cry from 17 to 7.
Yeah.
7. One of them won.
I got one of the numbers right.
I think you're kind of.
But we all know what the real controversy with Karl Malone is.
No, we don't.
Mailman was sending out mail to 13-year-olds.
Yeah, don't remember that either.
No,
if you can prove that, that's fine. But I'm not in the habit of blasphemy.
No, that's
and
very
things
true.
of
He
that
has a kid with her. So, but the laws in Louisiana at the time upheld that type of relationship.
Okay, so that was derailed quickly. But anyway, very interesting that those guys.
No love for Karl Malone in this
those
town.
guys in Detroit were that close to being an MVP, but no one finishing higher than third of all time. All right, so maybe Cade Cunningham can break through and do something no Piston has ever done. If he did that, would he be immediately considered one of the greatest Pistons of all time?
I mean, I think he's already in that top 5 category, that's for sure. And I think you mentioned all 4 of the others.
Well, I didn't mention Dennis Rodman.
Well, Isaiah, but I mean, in terms of guys winning an MVP, it'd be Lanier, it'd be Bing, it'd be Isaiah.
It'd be Grant Hill.
And Grant Hill.
Yeah. So that's a really good point. Does that speak to Detroit's franchise dominance or lack thereof, I should say?
I think it has to do with their team balance.
Aren't the greatest teams in NBA history known for their greatest players? And you could have a number of... I do this with baseball all the time, all right? I say, if you put the greatest Tigers at each position, they could rival any team ever. Okay? You could. I mean, whoever you want at catcher, Lance Parrish, Bill Freehan, Mickey Cochran, we could go around and around.
Give me Lance.
Yeah, Cochran's an MVP or a Hall of Famer. Lance is not. I think Lance should be. But you could go around each position and you could pick a Hall of Famer outside of, well, even second base, Charlie Gehringer. You could have a Hall of Famer at every position. Not every franchise can say that. Okay? The greatest franchises can, which is ironic because Detroit only has the 4 world championships. The Pistons, if you just said, if Cade Cunningham, you think he's already a top 5 Piston all time, that means he's in the same conversation as Grant Hill, Isaiah Thomas, Dave Bing, Bob Lanier. What about Ben Wallace? What about Dennis Rodman? What about certain players like that? If he's top 5 already, what does that say about Detroit's, and this is not a knock on Cade Cunningham by any stretch, but it's more of a knock on Detroit's historical significance in the NBA. If you've got a player who's just had a cup of coffee so far in the NBA, and this is, and has had some injuries, obviously, but is in the MVP conversation this year, and rightfully so, what does that say about the legacy that the Pistons have built?
3 rings, baby. Not a whole many teams can talk about 3 rings. Should be 4, sure, but I think that it's the way that this team's always been built. You talked about it earlier on about how this team always defends. Mm-hmm. Their identity has always been team. I kind of feel like the only time I ever saw a Detroit team get a legit whistle was in 2004. I would even venture to say that the Pistons got the benefit of the doubt in that series, officiating wise, and I think that the NBA embraced them because you just watched 2 Hall of Famers go and join 2 other Hall of Famers, and in the beginning of this super team era, and I think that the NBA said, well, let's give it to a team. Mm-hmm. Now the bad boys, you just couldn't take it from them. They were so damn good. Mm-hmm. And I think that this team that's being built right now, it's on the back of defense, it's on the back of chemistry. The difference is that you have this player that could go down statistically better than Isaiah with a ring or 2.
Mm. Would you put him ahead of Ben Wallace? Would you put him ahead of Vinnie Johnson? Would you put him ahead of Richard Hamilton, for example?
I'd put him ahead of all those guys. You can't put him ahead of Ben yet, but the difference is that Ben just didn't bring it. He brought it all on one side. And you look at a guy, like Brunson, he brings it, or Luka, for your example, he brings it all on the offensive side. I don't think that he's an MVP candidate because, again, he is El Matador. He can't defend a wet paper bag.
Right, but he is from the national perspective. He is an MVP candidate.
Sure, but and again, I don't agree with that. So when I look at a player that's spectacular offensively or spectacular defensively, I look at a guy like Cade who's both. And to me, I'm going to rank that guy ahead of the specialists. And I love Worm. I love Ben.
Would you put him ahead of Chauncey Billups?
He's on his way. That's for damn sure. I mean, he's got.
So you wouldn't
one.
right now?
Well, I mean, in terms of
I'm just saying. You said
skill,
right. You said right now.
What he can do to the game statistically, he is a superior player. He hasn't learned how to win a championship yet. He hasn't learned how to win a conference championship yet. So when you can do those things, that's in my mind when you graduate to that greatness.
You wouldn't call him a top 5 Piston right now.
Like, I'm not calling James Harden like a top 5 player of the last 20 years.
No, I'm not talking about player. I'm talking about in the franchise. You said he's a top 5 Piston right now.
I really think that he's sitting there.
I mean, Chauncey Billups was finished 5th one year in the MVP voting, and he finished fourth another year, or sixth another year, I should say.
But Chauncey wasn't a guy that took over games physically. He had times and stretches where he could absolutely fill it up, and he was Mr. Big Shot, and you couldn't beat him. But what he did for the rest of the team, not only dishing the ball and running the offense, but also as the leader of that team, in hindsight, you got to hold him here.
Yeah.
Cade is doing that.
Never
right
averaged
now.
more than 20 points a game.
And Cade
Never.
is leading this team right now, but he's doing it in a triple threat in defense, rebounding, assists, as well as obviously scoring. To me, this guy, all that he has to do is stay here and win some conference championships and one ring. And then, to me, at that point, he probably, skills-wise, is the greatest Piston ever. Although that will always probably be Isaiah.
Okay. Good stuff. I appreciate the explanation. I want to clarify top five right now, and we need to remind people 2 years ago, last year, excuse me. Cade Cunningham finished what? Kool-Aid seventh? Seventh in the MVP.
Tied for seventh, actually.
Yeah, tied for seventh in the MVP voting. Okay. Let's get to some super chats before we're out of here. Maybe something from the mailbag, whatever it may be.
Definitely. We'll clean up these super chats first, and then I did see a couple mailbag questions there. Michael Ware with the $5 super chat. He says, meet Kobe Minor, the last pick in this year's NFL draft, New England.
New England. Okay. Good. Thank you for that.
If he hits that, I'll be real impressed. You better buy some lottery tickets, pal.
Was unaware of that, but you learn something new every day on the show. That's good stuff. Thank you.
This is about Dante151 with the $4.99 super chat. Says, so Brian Flores' contract as a defensive coordinator for the Vikings is up this season. Should the Lions pull the trigger and replace Shep with him?
Why? If he wants to host with Braylon, he can. I'm confused at why Minnesota would let him go. Why do we think he would be let go? I mean, if he gets a head coaching gig, that's one thing. A second crack at that proverbial can. But why would Minnesota, if his contract's up, why would Minnesota not say, this dude is the reason we're even in games this year, or his defense was anyway. And it is interesting. We'll blame players a lot of times for their defensive deficiencies, but not DCs or OCs, but we won't do it the other way around. I mean, Brian Flores is really good, right? He's done a great job with Minnesota. He's got some horses on the defensive side of the ball, does he not? Yes. But we're going to blame... Well, never mind. I don't want to go there.
That's the hire I'm talking about with you last week, though. That's the premier big name that's a year away from being a head coach. He just needs the right spot.
He's already been a head coach, though.
Well, I know. I'm saying, but to get back to that promised land, to be a head coach like where he's at right now, with Minnesota another year, he probably ends up on the street, if they bring him back. He could come to the Lions, turn the defense around, and he's a head coach the next year.
But I don't understand why. But Minnesota, do we think we know something that the Vikings don't?
Well, I'm saying if the Vikings went 13-3 this year, or 13-4, or 14-3 like they did last year,
14-3,
and their defense is really damn good.
But their defense is really good now.
I get that, but they're
lie?
also a losing team this year. I'm just saying we'd be having a totally different conversation about Flores right now if that team ended up being good. He'd be one of the premier head coach candidates in the NFL.
Yeah, there's no way Minnesota, unless they're run by incompetent people, are going to let him go unless he becomes a head coach.
Yeah, I don't think they'll
and
let
they
him go.
sure as hell aren't going to do it
in
by
division.
letting him go in the division.
No, hell
no. Would you like that? Now, if he were available, let's use the possibility here. If he were available, would you do it? Yes. It's a proven commodity.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Now, you would lose Kelvin Shepard because he probably wouldn't stick around, would he? No way.
I'm okay. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind him running the linebackers still.
But
He's
he
done a
wouldn't
damn
do
good
that.
job. No, of course
he wouldn't
not.
step back for another position coach opportunity.
I don't think he's getting a DC offer, though.
Hey, listen, man. When I didn't think there's a lot of guys who have had terrible, as coordinators, terrible offenses / defenses, whatever the case may be, and gotten more opportunities. We've seen it time and time again because they can always blame it on personnel. They can blame it on certain schemes, and they can say, listen, give me this guy, and I'll give you that, right? I think that's what's going to happen. I don't know if Brian Flores, I think he stays in Minnesota, and I think he's going to use that whole thing as a springboard to getting another head coaching job. Anything else, Kool-Aid?
Yeah, we definitely got a couple mailbag questions that were sent in by the people, and
what I want to know is what they're going to do with the OC. That's what I'd like to know.
That to me is way
if
more
Mike
impressive.
McDaniel gets canned in Miami, is he a possibility? Brian Dable, is he a possibility?
Hope
Just
not.
based on their track record. Look, if you're going to use track record, Brian
I'm
Dable.
not a
what
Dable guy, though.
Okay, I'm not either. But it's hard to argue with what he did in Kansas City. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah, you know what? Shout out to I see Room Monkey in the chat. He says our tackling and run stopping this year was embarrassing, and he believes AG did not have that problem, and we had fewer players to work with. I just thought that was a really interesting comment there because I wonder what the difference is. They even lost a lot of players last year, and still the guys that they rolled into place, even the ones from the practice squad, they seem to have just a little bit more discipline and a little bit better technique than what we saw this year.
Yeah, if the NFL's full of crazy stuff. If I said a quarterback went 13-3, completed 66.5% of his passes, threw 13 touchdowns and no interceptions against your defense, would you want that guy back as your defense? That was Aaron Glenn this year. Opposing quarterbacks went 13-3. They didn't throw a pick. They threw that many touchdowns. They had a completion percentage. And they had tons of yards.
Did you see that betting thing? If you put money down and doubled it every week that they would not get an interception, you'd have like over $2 million this year.
It's just, it's weird how that happens, right? When it comes to guys we like, they leave. Guys who replace them, we are focused on them constantly, right?
Sure.
But we lose track of the guy who just left us. And if you had those, and I'm not saying he would have, because, look, I like Aaron Glenn, and I was rooting for him. But can we just keep in mind, I mean, the New York Jets were, let's see, 2-4, they were 6th last from stopping the run this year. So you want to blame Calvin Shepard. There's plenty of blame to go around. I get it. Detroit's middle of the pack against the run. This year against the run, which means tackling and fits and everything else like that, the Jets were one of the worst teams in football in that regard.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know how many DCs. I'm not making an excuse for Calvin Shepard. I don't know how many DCs would have been able to handle the loss of personnel, both first and second string, from the secondary primarily, and not getting helped out a little bit by the front office.
And you talk about not getting helped out. I wonder how much Dan Campbell and his attention to be able to help out his rookie DC a little bit, I wonder how much of that got taken away when he had to put all of his focus on the offense and the fact that they weren't solving it. So it's not like he can say, okay, I'm going to kickstart this over here and get back over here. It got to a point where it seemed like Dan had to keep his head in the offensive room because not a lot was going right.
That's a really good point and a really good song, Kickstart My Heart by Motley Crue. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Braylon Edwards Show. We're back with you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Don't forget the heavyweights later on today at 5. Have a great rest of your Monday night, everybody. Stafford needs you desperately tonight. Please, and Bijan Robinson.
It all comes back.
And Puka, too. Puka Stafford.
Puka.
I'm only rooting for those guys one night.
You're rooting for
only
me.
one time.
I'm rooting for you, too. See you later.
Looking for your daily sports
Pulling
fix?
for you,
Look no
Shep.
further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep,
Do you believe this comeback?
your favorite sports commentator, as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.